Okay. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show Podcast that some of you are getting, the video, that is brought to you today by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, in business right now and waiting for you to call them so they can pick up your vehicle. 616-202-5538. They are open for business. You need a car to get to the grocery store. You got to have your bug-out vehicle ready. 616-202-5538. How it works is they show up at your place, they pick up the car, they go, they fix it, they bring it back. Wipe it down, sanitize it. You don't even know what happened. Pay over the phone. That's part of the COVID-19 protocol. 616-202-5538. Small businesses are taking it between the eyes. They're getting forcibly boned. Some are able to adapt somewhat and survive. Others, not so much. Hopefully, there is help on the way from the federal government. But Irvine's Auto Repair is open for business. They are online at irvines.com. If you need your car fixed, call on them. They service all domestic, Asian, Mercedes, BMWs, and Minis. Thank you, as always, to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Let's get this show started.
Get drunk before everything closes.
And now, here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station, anywhere.
I will fight you in the street.
It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Hey, appreciate you.
Get drunk before everything closes.
Yeah,
This virus ain't that serious.
Oh, yeah, sure, smart ass. How you feeling now, you dumb bastard? Welcome into the Eric Zane Show Podcast. This is a daily show. Now, originally I wrote it as discussing news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. But I think we might have to modify that to discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly of COVID-19. And some of my personal adventures. Probably not, but I just say that because it seems like that's all that's been going on within our worlds for the past some time. Isn't it crazy to think that when it was overseas and kind of just starting to proliferate here, we didn't even really, we would just watch from afar and go, oh, wow, that sucks for them. All right, it's back to my life. And then, it's very, very real to us now. Okay, so as we get started today, I've got a lot of interesting things to talk about. Things are starting to take hold in terms of these small business shout-outs. And we're actually going to start a day early, and that is today. I'll explain more about that in a second. So I'll have some guests on the show today. All right? So I'm looking forward to that. I'll give you more information as we get closer to it. But first of all, as you know on this podcast, I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do this in this way. In fact, I was talking to Adam Deggy, comedian in West Michigan, and, well, everywhere for that matter. And he's been on this podcast most recently with Loria and Joe Bachheim from the Legal Immigrants to discuss that show that they were going to do for Laugh Fest. I don't even think it got off the ground after all the shit hit the fan. I don't even remember. It's all a blur to me. And I was talking with him, and I had a conversation with him about a couple other things, and he suggested that, Zane, you might be the last one actually putting out live content every day when the dust settles from my fear bunker here. The coronavirus fear bunker studio. I'm kind of like in that scene. No, I don't want to reference it. No one's going to get it. Don't do it. What was it? 2021? No. 2012. The movie 2012. I think wasn't it Woody Harrelson was in his fear trailer and he would like broadcast to the world? I told myself, don't do the reference. No one's going to get it. But then I went ahead and did it. That's me. For the last 14, 15 months, I've been here doing this, so this is easy for me. Honestly, The only thing that has changed for me, aside from I stopped earning money, but whatever, it's only money. You're still alive. What the hell? Still got your health. Is that I have more company now. That is the only thing that's changed. Well, I mean, with the exception of my puppy dogs who are with mom right now, who is home. Everybody's home here in the fear bunker. But all right, so really, I am incredibly prepared to do this. Talk to you every single day, and I actually take a great pride in that, knowing that some of you are like, hey man, let's check out what Zane's saying about what's going on with COVID-19, and that's pretty much the only thing that's burning on my brain today's things concerning that. So I thank you each and every day on the live element of this, Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. I'm on YouTube. Search Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. You'll get a notification. Hopefully, I think it's working better now than it was. That I am live as well as on Facebook and on Twitter. Find me on Twitter at Eric Zane Show, the Blue Frost IT Twitter handle, where this is also happening live as we speak, keeping you up to date, informed on things going on, kind of in the world as best I can. My take on it. And then, of course, the downloadable audio podcast, always ready for you at your call at ericzaneshow.com. You can listen right off of the site if you like, or you can download it to your favorite podcasting app. Excuse me, stand by. Okay, I feel good. I have good health right now. I am in good spirits, considering I actually don't have the best news for you to end the show. Don't worry, everybody's still alive. It's okay. It's just something that's burning on my brain. I'm kind of compartmentalizing it into one little corner of my brain. I don't think I'm going to cry. You know how I am. I cry quite easily. So I have to keep this car on the road for as long as I can. Yesterday, this was a strange moment for me. I received a text from my beloved stepfather. That would be Wally Corbeil. Oops. And this is how it went, because as you know, I took my mother and Wally to the doctor for my mother's pre-surgery appointment for her breast cancer. We talked about that. Now, at the time, I had a conversation with Wally about accessing the podcast. Now, he knows how to access the podcast, but frankly, sometimes I feel when I am producing content in this forum, this platform, online resources, people tend to forget about me. And that could be just general people in the public who once listened to me on the radio, or it could be family members. It just happens. It's harder. That's a challenge to stay top of mind sometimes when you're not found as easily as just turning on the radio. Or when and people know that you're not actually on the radio, sometimes the extra step of tracking you down is a bit burdensome. I know it sounds weird, but it's true. I've experienced it myself. So I honestly, I don't know if anyone within my family even pays attention to anything that I do. Though I have put out thousands of hours of material. I honestly, unless I present it to them, hey, listen to this interview with Darren McCarty, or listen to this interview or listen to this time I talked to Dad for Dear Meathead. Outside of that, I don't know if anybody makes it part of their day. I'm fairly certain they don't. So, yesterday, while I was doing this podcast, I found out well after the fact that Wally listened or viewed it through the ways I've talked to you about. And then I found that out last night when I was in the evening. And it was a group text message to every single member of my family. So you got like 150 people, it looks like. It's a whole bunch of people. Hey, everybody, check this out. This is Eric talking about his trip to pick up Bernie, my mom, and I to go to the hospital. Bernie is very proud of Eric for how he handled this. Now, as soon as I read that, I read those first lines, and I'm like, my butthole is this big. I'm like, oh, no, they listen. What did I say? Because I don't remember exactly what I say. So I'm like, oh, no. And then I read, my mom is very proud of me. That means I must have made sense, was coherent, not too off the rails swearing, because as you know, I say shit all the time. And so that's a concern of mine. I don't like to use that type of language around, my family members. I do it when I'm letting it fly on here, but it's a little different. It's worlds colliding here. And whenever a person who does what I do, in my experience with them and with myself, it's always a crapshoot. You don't know what you said. You don't remember. It's like, oh, shit, what did I say? Oh, boy. So then I'm like, ugh. So then I'm sitting there in my in the living room last night, or the sunroom, and I immediately call up my own podcast and hold the phone to my ear and listen to everything that I said. And then I'm like, it's an extended segment I did yesterday about that trip, wiping down the car, taking him to the doc, talking about my mom's cancer, talking about getting a mammogram, all this stuff. And I'm listening to it, and it's going on and on and on. And then while I'm listening, I'm like, this is actually pretty good. I enjoy what I'm doing. I think I did a good job. So I'm like critiquing myself. I'm going, you got something. You're onto something here, Eric. Keep it up. And then I'm like listening to it. I'm like, oh, God, please don't say anything bad. And then I just got through the whole thing, and I think I might have said shit once or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I think you're good. But so I was kind of freaking out. I'm like, please don't. I hope you didn't listen to the rest of the podcast. I then actually followed up to the text with, if you don't want to get it on Facebook, cue in to this portion of the podcast, and I provided the link for them. So that was just strange to me to see this. Sometimes you wonder. I mean, there was a time. Do you folks remember the time when it wasn't that long ago. It was probably 5-6 years ago. I was much different then. I'd like to think that I've calmed down quite a bit. Some of the shit I used to pull on the radio was, I don't know, just wasn't that great. I know my old mates on Freeburg and Hot Wings play old clips from time to time, and I have heard them, and I'm like, oh, God, this is fatiguing. I hate me. There was times that I would say shitty stuff about my mother, and I got in big trouble for that. So that I learned a lesson there. And it's not that I would have said anything terrible about her concerning this, but my point is, I think I'm really a different person now than when I was then, and I actually am more comfortable with what I do now as it being more true to myself as opposed to then. There was a lot more showbiz that was maybe unnecessary, maybe not. I don't know. It seemed to work. I mean, we had untold audience that has helped propel the show to between the three of us working together to amazing heights. But I look back on those, and I'm like, boy, I hope I didn't pay a price from that. Hope I didn't ruin my eternal soul from the way I was. All right. I want you to email me anytime during the live podcast or even after. If you have anything at all that you'd like to say, I finally figured out that I can look at my own email, and I don't have to wait till after the show. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. If you have any things that you want to add to the conversation, if you have something really, really pressing and you really want to talk to me about, leave your phone number, for God's sake. I won't share it, but I can actually call you up here on Skype and call you directly from that. I do it all the time. I'm going to do it today. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. It's like you'd have to write what you want to talk about, and then whether or not I call you will remain, well, maybe not. But if you have any comments, you just want to write it out, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Keep that also for the small business shout-out. That starts, actually today. It starts today because I've got a couple things cooking, but the goal was initially to start it on Monday, but we are going to start it early. If you know a small business anywhere in the United States that you would love, that you would like to have mentioned on this podcast, as we try to do our part to shine a little bit of a spotlight on them as they make their way through this horrible, desperate scenario that we have, found ourselves in, I would love to be part of that. All you have to do is email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. You may nominate yourself. If it is your business, please do. Please feel free. And then what the business is, the phone number. If you aren't in charge, the owner's names. Please tip them off that I am wanting to do this. And then I will call them off of the podcast and set something up. And perhaps they'll even join me. And that's what we'll do. All right. I want to read to you an email from Jacob Bennett, who, as you can see in the sign, is part of Bennett Flooring Installation. That is his business. Jacob and his cousin run that business, and he reached out to me with an email. And I just want to read it to you. Jacob writes, "Hey, I wanted to share a good story because there's been so many idiot stories out there." And Jacob writes, "We have 2 autistic children. One has epilepsy. So obviously, underlying health issues. We are worried about COVID-19. So my wife went out to get groceries, and both of the local stores were out of bananas. These are our son's favorite fruit. And my son is limited on what he eats. My wife let me know if I could stop at the store on my way home. No bananas either. My wife posted on Facebook asking, hey, if anybody knows where bananas are, one of those Facebook groups, maybe a neighborhood group, let us know." He writes, my son Thor, or actually in the post it says, our son Thor does not have any bananas. Time out. We got to talk about the awesomeness of the name Thor. Shit, I friggin' love that. I don't think I know anybody other than the god of thunder having that name. That is sweet. Jacob continues. We were quickly sent pictures of where we could find them. The bananas. Okay, so he's on the hunt for bananas. Before I could go to get some bananas, somebody left bananas on the porch. Now, 5 days in a row, somebody keeps leaving bananas on the porch, allowing me to know that we will make it through this as people are great. You see, that's the one thing. He sent a picture. Picture is from yesterday. My wife said someone left some this morning also. So whoever the sweet soul is that's leaving the bananas for Thor, that is just spectacular. Paid a visit to my beloved Holy Redeemer Catholic Church. Who knew that 14, 15 months after I started podcasting, my little ability to know how to put content out there for the world on an online platform would assist my Catholic Church. They were a little bit in the weeds about, I thought at first it was just an audio podcast, but they want Father Colin preaching a homily and to be able to be posted to YouTube. And they were struggling with sound, and they were struggling with a couple other things. So it turns out that it was a very, very, very simple fix. It was this device right here called an iRig, which, thank you to Kenny several months ago, which I detailed yesterday. He gave me a second one of those. So I kind of had a redundancy. And, I went over there and I go, well, this is all you need to do. This is an easy fix. And then I had an extra tripod. I had an extra iPhone stand. So through an iPod and an iRig, or iPhone and an iRig and a tripod, they're in business. So Father Colin is going to post those. And I was just very, very happy to help. I was very proud of that. Who knew that this dumb thing that I'm doing right here could lead to something like that? So I was very, very happy to help. It made my day. Glad to help. In any way I can, I'll be happy to assist. All right, where was I here? Ooh. There is, I've got some boots on the ground. I intercepted some intel yesterday that one of the radio clusters in West Michigan might be stripping it down to nothing so that nobody will be in the building. And that is huge. And my first thought is, I don't know how, if there is even anybody there, they are there. I know I can't even picture myself surrounded by people at this point in time. And to be in close quarters like that, when you're trying to do a radio show, in my opinion, is a mistake. To be like around and you don't know who you're exposed to, I think that the quicker that they close that down, the better off everybody at those radio stations is going to be. They might get a crash course in how to do a show like this before too long, or at least work remotely. They have the capability. That would be unbelievable. And so, I mean, all of this is unprecedented. This is uncharted territory that we are all in. So good luck to those folks. I don't want to say who it is. Kent County Health Department brings you the open this time around, 616-632-7200. They are still working hard to make sure that those that are at a disadvantage are able to be fed. If you and I are out and we see on the grocery store shelves food that says it's WIC approved, please don't buy it. Buy something else. The people that are on WIC can't get anything else. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny's just killing it with the influence on the show these days. Thank you. Yeah, get something else because those people that are on WIC, they have limited choices as to what they can get, and Kent County Health Department is still providing services for people in that regard. 616-632-7200 if you need help through the WIC program. It's funded and ready. They want to give you a debit card so you can buy various staples for families that are suffering. Now, WIC stands for Women and Infant Children. That's old school title. It should be men, women. It is for everybody. It's for your family to feed them. So call them at the Kent County Health Department, 616-632-7200, or your local health department. They will help you. Okay. Let me go, before I call a guest on the show, I want to go over a hilarious email exchange. A couple years ago, I was introduced to the Ruddy family through because of an unfortunate thing that happened. It was a very big story and prominent here in West Michigan when very young Tommy Ruddy passed away from DIPG, which is brain cancer. Aggressive brain cancer, and it took a toll, and there was no defending it, and he fought hard, and the little guy passed away. That was a very, very big story in the news here. From that, the Team Tommy Army Strong 5K was born. The Ruddys have worked with the Chad Tough organization. I know all this like the back of my hand because I've been working with these people for extended time. The Chad Tough organization, Chad Carr, who is the grandson of legendary Michigan coach, former Michigan coach Lloyd Carr, also had that brain tumor, and the team rallied around him, and he ultimately lost that fight, and that's where Chad Tough was born. Well, Tommy Ruddy, same illness. They work in conjunction with the Chad Tough organization to raise money. A lot of times you see this, people who experience something horrible like this, they are moved to doing events like this. So in honor of little guy, that's where Team Tommy Army Strong came from. I MC the event, and it's a great grassroots thing right around here in my neck of the woods. We do it over at Countryside Greenhouse. Fun day, reflecting, thinking about Tommy. Just incredible. Everybody works together. It's really a lot of fun, a spectacular event. So I've given you a lot of background. Like I said, I know it very well because I know the family. So I get an email yesterday, and it says, Tom Ruddy. I go, oh, that's Tommy's dad, Tom and Amanda, our mom and dad. I go, oh, what's up with Tom? And then I read it, and the first 5 words, I'm confused. And it says Eric, and it says subject line Applebee's. Eric, my name is Tom Ruddy. Now, like I said, I know Tom Ruddy. So there is no way in hell that this email is from the Tom Ruddy I know. It's a different Tom Ruddy, because why the hell would someone I know, that would be like if Diana walked in here and said, hey, hello, my name's Diana. So I was like, oh, okay, it's a different Tom Ruddy. And I am the area director for Applebee's in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are a family-owned and operated business in many areas of Michigan. I received your contact from my wife, Amanda Ruddy. So now I'm like, wait a minute. Did this guy have a stroke or something here? I think this is Tom, because the Tom I know, his wife is Amanda. So why the hell is he going the extra mile on the identification process here? I'm like, what's going on with Tom here? Contact from my wife, Amanda Ruddy, and I was wondering if you would be able to assist. Now, I'm telling you right now, if Tom walked up to me and said all of these words, I'd have just punched him in the face to try to get him back to reality. Maybe, what are you doing? Our message is simply that we are open during this time for delivery in most locations, as well as great to-go food. So he basically wants to get going on the small business shout-out. And I'm like, well, why did you just call me? What the fuck is this? So I reply with, hey, Tom. Tom Ruddy from Hudsonville, Michigan, right? Team Tommy, Tom. Yes? Yeah. It's dude. I go, well, I wrote back, you don't have to reintroduce yourself, you nut. I'll just call you. So I don't know what was going on here with that. Now, truth be told, Tom sometimes is a little shy. He's one of these shy guys, and I love him dearly. But what are you doing? Let's bring him in here. We're gonna bust his balls big time.
Hello.
Hi, Tom. It's Eric. How are you?
Eric, I'm great. How are you?
I was just busting your balls about your dumb email.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was giving the background about how we came to be. And, for years we've worked together on the Team Tommy Army Strong. Or, on the Team Tommy 5K. And how I was like, wait, I swear to God, Tom, I thought you were someone else.
I look back at the email and I'm a bit embarrassed now. So there you go.
And then when you said Amanda, I was like, wait a minute, this is not the Tom Ruddy. This is crazy. This Tom Ruddy has a wife named Amanda too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, there you go.
All right, so Tom, can you tell me exactly what you do for Applebee's, please? Because to some people might be like, well, Applebee's is a chain, but this is very much a homespun operation, is this not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have over 65 restaurants here in Michigan, and we're based in Michigan. I work for Team Showstack Family Restaurants, and they are born and bred in Michigan. And we own and operate our own Applebee's here, right here in Michigan. So I'm an area director. I have 5 locations here in beautiful Grand Rapids. I have one in Ludington, and I also have one in Big Rapids. But I work for Team Showstack Family Restaurants, so I'm trying to do my part to make sure folks know that we're here still.
Absolutely, and it's so very important, and that's why, for the next however long it takes, I want people who have businesses to reach out to me who are getting it between the eyes on from what we're going through, and to give me all their information so that we can talk about them. So This works out perfectly. I can't think of a better way to get it going. And I have people who are just solo operations. I have people who have 50 employees. I have people who have 100 employees. I have people who are contractors. Whatever it takes if they want to reach out to me. But hopefully their first email won't be as dumb as yours.
Yeah, I know. I hope so too.
All right, I'm sorry. I won't make fun of you again. I want to get back to this.
That's okay. I deserve it.
No, you don't. You don't. First of all, let me ask you this, Hobby. Before we continue to talk about that, how is your family doing?
Family's doing well, thank God. Everybody's doing. We're kind of doing our best to quarantine ourselves here, but everybody's good. Everybody's healthy, and we're doing everything we can to follow the protocol.
Are you feeling what I'm feeling? I feel a tinge of panic. Do you feel a tinge of panic?
I think the unknown is a little is kind of where the panic and concerns set in. But I think that it looks like everybody is, for the most part, listening this time to all the the information that's coming out. So I mean, when you drive the streets, I mean, there's not a lot of people out there. So and you go to certain places that you normally go to, and you don't see many people there. So it looks like folks are taking this to heart. I hope. Because in our business, we want to be open for the public on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And it's kind of difficult only doing partial business right now when it comes to just not serving in-house and at the bar. So the biggest thing is to get our team members back and really make sure that we can continue to move forward. That's really my only concern right now.
What steps are being taken by Applebee's to make sure that everyone at your facilities is safe?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right now. I mean, we're taking every safety and sanitation precaution right now. I mean, really listening to what the government is kind of bringing down when it comes to the virus, and making sure that we're following all of that protocol. And we're disinfecting every 2 hours, so it's really important to us. And right now we don't even have the dining. No one has dining rooms or bars open. So our restaurants are always clean, but they're especially clean with what we're doing right now. So I'm very proud of what we've been able to do, because it's not easy because we don't have a lot of all hands on deck right now based off of what's happening in the country. So, but we're doing an outstanding job, and I'm very, very proud of what we're doing in order to keep our guests, team members, and everyone safe.
So, the way food is getting from Applebee's to customers is they order it via the phone, online. How does it work, Tom?
Yeah, so we have free delivery in not every restaurant. Not every restaurant delivers, but the majority of the restaurants between here and the Lakeshore, all the way up to when you get up north, it's a little difficult to get delivery. But we're trying to work that out to try to get some folks to deliver that currently aren't delivering. But we do currently offer free delivery for the restaurants that are doing that right now.
Yeah.
We also do great car side takeout. So you come in, we bring the takeout order to you. There's no need to come in. Obviously, with the protocol, you're not supposed to enter the restaurant. So we'll bring that out to you. We'll make sure it's packaged properly. We also do great catering, and we have this awesome deal that we're doing where you spend $20 and you get 25-cent boneless wings.
All
and
right.
You spend $50, you get 50 25-cent boneless wings. So you heard me right. It's 50 boneless wings. It only costs you 25 cents a piece. If you spend $50. So that's a pretty great deal.
Yeah, and people might be like, all right, we've had a long week. It's Friday. Let's go. Let's have a little bit of a relaxed period with someone else cooking, and then someone else will deliver it. And that's what's important, is that you also have someone working and earning money, because obviously not everybody can work right now. We're in a really, really serious pickle, but with some hard work, I think, and it will suck, but at the end of the day, we're going to get through this. This is not the end of the world. It's just terrible right now.
It is, yeah. Yeah, and the other thing I want to make sure to, because it's, some kids are having trouble, getting their meal due to not being at school right now, and so we're also offering free kids meals with an adult entree.
Okay.
So
that's great.
That's a big deal. So,
yep, I love that.
We want to make sure we're doing our part. We know folks are struggling, and we want to make sure that they could go to the neighborhood Applebee's and get the best possible deal that they could get at this time, with great food. That's first and foremost.
Okay, I like that. So people, you know what to do. Just search them out online. You can. I'll include it in the show notes too if you want more information, and then reach out to any of those area Applebee's and then do what you got to do. Do what you know how. Have you done the thing yet, Tom, where you've stuck your hand out to shake someone's hand and then they chastise you? Has that happened yet?
I was going for a walk the other day, my wife and I actually had gloves on, and I went to shake a guy's hand, and he shook my hand, but you could tell he looked at me funny, and I said, well, I have a glove on. It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
I'm a handshaker.
Tom!
I'm a handshaker, and I like to hug, so
you stay away.
Tough for me right now.
Stay away. Don't touch me. All right, hey,
I just do the fist bump.
Yeah, don't do anything. Just stand there.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
Are you,
and I'm Italian, so it's tough for me to do.
There you go. You probably kiss people on a normal day. So
not me. Only my wife, Eric.
All right, very. Now let me ask you this: we're going to do the race in the fall. Yes, of course, the Team Tommy Armstrong 5K.
We hope to. We're still trying to make decisions on that based off of how this goes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just I'll just keep an eye on that, and we'll take it as it comes.
Yes, you always do a great job there. We really appreciate what you do. You've supported us with the Team Tommy run for a few years now, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad to do it. I'm just glad to be invited. Was it last year that the microphone died and we had to just scream everything? Yeah,
and then it also rained too, so we kind of had a mud run as well. Yeah.
There's always something trying to derail us, but that event keeps getting bigger. So that's great that the community does that. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I think we've covered it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. Okay, and I give my best to your family and to all the people that work for the business. All right, Tom.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to everybody coming over to Applebee's. Thank you.
All right, Tom. I'll talk to you down the road, buddy.
Will do. Thanks.
Okay, man.
Talk
See
you
you
later.
Tom Ruddy. The Tom Ruddy I've known for extended time. That was classic, that whole email. Hey, hello, my name is, and I'm like, yeah, I know you are. Holy crap. All right. I've got another person I want to throw a call out to in just a minute. If you like getting drunk in downtown Grand Rapids, a lot of you bros and chicks go to the Garage Bar. And by the way, this is just all of these stories. I mean, if you, like I said, on the small business shout out, do send me an email, even if it's your business. Nominate yourself, damn it. I need to know who you are. I got a long list of them, and this is going to take a while to get past this coronavirus thing. So do reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and I'll get you on the show, man. I'll spotlight you in my own little special way. Now, granted, this isn't the Howard Stern show, but maybe with a little bit of luck, we can get a few people in the door for you. I'd love to help in any way possible. All right. Behind me is the sign for the world-famous Mario Flores. Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Now, this is tricky business, but some of you might need, and this sucks, but you're gonna get past this. You might need to get some cash out of your house in order to keep things going. You need to call on Mario Flores. I talked to him about this process specifically, and this is not a thing where there's no gouging involved. Hell, if it weren't a dire time, you might, if you go to other places, hell, they might still do it now. Dip into your pocket a little bit based on the money that you're getting out of your home. I want to stress to you, I spoke with Mario myself. He understands the struggles that you're going through, and he's going to make this as painless for you as possible. If you do fall into this category, please consider calling on Mario. I trust him. No one's getting screwed, and if it were to happen, I'd find out about it, and then that's it. We're not friends anymore. That's how sure I am that this is not going to happen. I put my name and reputation on the line. I believe and trust in Mario and his team. They want to help you. If you need to go down this road, and yours truly might have to, I'm calling Mario. 231-332-6505. If you're not in that boat, you can still call on Mario and get yourself pre-approved for a mortgage. I'm guessing that right about now isn't exactly the time that anybody's thinking about something like this, but time is going to march on. We are going to get through this, and Mario and his staff are there for you. 231-332-6505. Also, key sponsor of the show, who's also taking a punch from the back of the room, TC Paintball. Rick is putting it on hiatus till March 30, unless otherwise informed. And I'll keep you up to date. But that doesn't mean they're out of business. If you're healthy and you want to buy a paintball gun, they got a skeleton staff on there that can help you. Also, you can book a party for April. All right? And if it comes down to they can't open up in April, well, then they'll kick the can further down the road. TC Paintball, local business, sponsor of the Eric Zane Show Podcast. 616-249-8227. I put Rick on the podcast last week, and Rick has a great ability to think on his feet. Very nimble. And not at a loss for words, ever. Talks like a million miles an hour. And if you put a microphone in front of that guy's face, he'd be a podcaster. I'm telling you right now. He's got it. I put him on the podcast. He listens to it, sends me a text, goes, Jesus, why didn't you tell me to shut up? I'm like, I liked it. I like the way you talk. That's a Sling Blade reference for you. All right. I got to get Kevin Farhat on the phone now. Kevin owns the Garage Bar. This is another great example of adapt and survive. And in doing so, he is helping many, many people. What in the world is Kevin Farhat up to? Thank you to Bruce Morningstar for sending me this story. I called Kevin this morning at 7:30. It was up and around.
We're sorry. The number you have dialed is not a working number.
Damn. Hold on a second here. Did I load it in wrong? That's embarrassing. If that's the case, I'm going to have to do some work. 3, 4. Did you hear that? Dude. Oh, shit. This is going to be embarrassing.
We're sorry.
Hang on. Let me look it up online. Jesus. I was all excited. Okay. Their business number is 4540321. I remember that. 4540321. 164540321. Survive and adapt. Survive and adapt. This is the business line.
We're sorry. The number you have dialed is not a working.
This is so fucked. 616454. What did I say? 0321. You guys better not be making too much fun of me. 0321. call number. Aha! This is the first number I called this morning. And he picked it up at like 7:30 in the morning. And he gave me his cell phone number, which I then apparently...
Hi, thanks for calling the Garage Bar and Grill, Grand
for
Rapids.
God's sake.
If you're calling for a takeout order, please try us again. Otherwise, leave us a message, and we'll get back to you when we can. Thanks, and have a good day.
All right. Well, all I can do right now, I'm probably going to end up having to end the podcast and come back because I got to get this guy on the phone. The reason why I say that is because his number might be on this device right here. Let me try calling again. So embarrassing. You know what I did? I wrote the number down wrong. I had to have. Oh, hell.
Hi, thanks for calling the Garage Bar and Grill,
Okay,
Grand
this is what I'm going to do. I got to access this number. And the only way I can do it is by touching this device right here. And once I do that, your live stream is going to stop. So I'm going to start it up again, and we'll continue. Because I want you to hear this interview, okay? I'm so sweating right now. Okay, so I think it's going to stop. Maybe it won't. If it just stopped. So I'm going to try this again. And then I'll get everybody all caught up. We'll be good to go. On the audio podcast, this won't have happened. I'll have, clipped it all together neatly so the embarrassment won't be there. But anyway, all right, here we go. Let's try this again. Now, if it doesn't work, I'm just going to shut the whole thing down and jump out the window.
Garage Bar.
Kevin Farhat, Garage Bar. How are you?
No shaking, brother.
Oh, my God. This is, it's great to hear you, man. I talked a little bit about this story ahead of time. Where did the idea come from? First of all, I should back up. Tell everybody what the idea is and what you're doing.
Well, here's the deal. So we were trying to figure out what to do. You know, shut down, put our guys on unemployment, not fire everybody, but we're just thinking, how do we maintain? How do we stay open? What do we do? And we heard about this guy out in California that was giving a restaurant $2,000 a day to stay open. And, we've got some pretty good contacts here in the city. And so we said, you know what? Let's try this. Let's reach out to some of our folks, that have been good corporate sponsors of ours in the past for like the bike nights and the block party, things like that. So we started making some phone calls, Pioneer Construction, Car City, Custer, Third Coast Development, Mercantile, guys like that.
Yep.
And basically said, hey, we want to get this thing rolling. What do you guys think? Not even a question.
Wow.
You know what? We're like, yeah, let's throw you guys some loot. We raised thousands of dollars. They threw that in our bank account. We said, okay, we're going to flip it. We're going to turn it around, flip it. How many meals can we produce? So we did the quick math. Came out to about 100 a day for 30 days.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So
hold on a second. You said
Merc. It's pretty dope, man. We said, restaurant workers, people that have been downsized, bartenders, servers, cooks, things like that. Screw it. Let's put it out to the public, EGR, and said, let's go for it. And, all kinds of buzz on this thing.
Yeah.
People are pretty stoked. So
yeah,
it's
they
kind of
are.
a cool
I love it. And now people are calling you and ask, and they can, how can they redeem it? Because there are people listening right now who are going to need your food that you're making. How do they go about getting it?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, my Facebook blew up. Garage Bar's Facebook blew up. But how you do it is this. You call after 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
And you say when, up to 4 meals, right? And it's going fast. I mean, I'm already, just through some personal cooks and people that – so basically after 10 o'clock you call. We'll feed up you can call and get 4 entrees. We've got limited time slots, so it might be – we can't put them all in at 11 a.m., so somewhere at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, all the way up to 8 o'clock tonight. And we're doing it for 30 days. So if you don't get through at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, or if you call and we say, hey, we've already made our commitment for the 100 for today, maybe try back the next day,
Yeah, of course. That's, obviously that's the way it has to be. But it sounds fantastic. You have made me so happy knowing that this is happening, just that it's there.
Thank you.
I've known you for minutes, and I'm really, really proud of what you've done. I told you that earlier today. This is spectacular, and this is a perfect example of when the need arises and an idea and the private sector jumps in, how quickly you can turn this around. It's incredible, Kevin.
Yeah, my crew, the staff here, it keeps them whole. So my cooks are cooking right now.
Right. So,
I've got, they haven't had to go file unemployment. My servers are donating their time, A tip would be nice if somebody came in and you want to give them $3 or $4. That'd be great. And then, on top of that, we're still taking regular to-go orders. And
sure.
You can still call those in and pay for them. And we sell booze to go too, so we got license to beer and wine, and we all like to drink.
Sure,
so
absolutely, this is fantastic.
Maybe you can grab a 6-pack.
Kevin, this is so insanely awesome. The fact that you're all those employees, and how many employees are working with you for all of this?
I got 22 here.
Holy shit!
I got a Garage Bar South that we closed down for this, and then I got Graydon's Crossing. I own that too.
Okay. So all these people are working.
It is. Yeah.
And so they're working. The public is getting fed for free. Amazing businesses like Pioneer Construction, Car City. I know the folks at Car City. They're always willing to help. Back in the old Free Beer and Hot Wings days, they were hugely helpful.
Jeff Baker's
from the Free Run Hot Wing Show holiday break-ins. That was a big deal. Third, you said what do they do at Third Coast Development?
So Third Coast Development, they're my partners in the building here in part of the restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And so they develop here locally. So they've got all kinds of properties on Michigan Street, apartments and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yeah, they're my guys.
And then Mercantile Bank has been a fixture in the community for so long. So that's another big hitter. And they all gave you the cash for this instant charitable startup. My God, who else? Am I forgetting anybody? Mercantile, Pioneer, Car City, Third Coast. Who else?
We got Insure It, Custer. The furniture dudes.
Yep.
And then HER.
Yep.
And that's about it.
Okay.
But you know what? Here's the other thing I'll tell you is I've been getting phone calls and messages, from people saying, "Hey, here's $100.
Yeah.
Here's $50." I had a little girl call in and say, "Hey, I've got $5 in my piggy bank." It's just like, what the hell?
Right. Yeah, dude. This is one of those stories. It's kind of going to snowball for you. Can I get a little information about you? What's your history? What's your story in Grand Rapids?
I bought this bar about 6 years ago. I worked for corporate restaurants for 30 years. I was going to leave and move to Florida and say I'm done. And a buddy said, "Hey, buy Teasers." Remember Teasers?
Yeah.
So I said, screw it. It was a biker bar. We kind of turned into something a little different. And, so ended up buying this 5.5 years ago and never looked back, man. We've got the guys over at Third Coast. We can buy anything we want. And, places that are, available, we look at constantly, and we're in growing mode. So.
All right. Well, man, we're going to get through this. It's all going to work out. It's going to suck, and I just pray that all your employees stay healthy And I
Yeah,
really
that's
am
the thing.
so thrilled with what you've done. I've had 2 people on the air who are working very hard to do similar things. So, man, this is just a great story. What? How long from the time that you got the idea to this phone call? How much time has passed?
We set this thing up. I mean, Sunday they said we could serve up to limited people. Monday she turns around and says, "Hey, you only to-go food." So we put it together, in just a couple of days. So we flipped it pretty quick. Hey, what kind of booze do you drink?
Oh, well, my wife's the drinker, so she likes to drink. Yeah, I'm the one that has to keep it between the lines. I drink non-alcoholic booze, if that is a thing.
Come on down.
And,
come on down. We'll do a shot of
yeah,
something.
my wife, she'll be dancing on the bar, Kevin. Seriously, man, she'll probably take her top off, and then you'll have to say, "Take her, Zane, take her home."
I haven't seen her, but I like her so far.
Okay, well, I'm going to cut you loose, man. I know you're busy, but I'll check back in down the road, all right, buddy?
Yeah, call anytime, man.
Yeah, you're a good man, Kevin. Well done. Well freaking done.
All right, man. Peace.
Okay, talk to you down the
brother.
road, man. Oh, man,
Later.
that guy did not let me down at all. Shit, yeah. How about Kevin Fahey at the Garage Bar? I'm sorry, Kevin Farhat. That's awkward. I said his name wrong. I don't know who Kevin Fahey is. Might be a baseball player. Kevin Farhat from the Garage Bar. What a great story. Shit. That quickly. Can you believe how quickly he turned that shit around? Woo! Man. God, I want to get him back on the phone. He's got great energy, that dude. As always, email this show, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. We're talking about old Zane versus new Zane. Brian Callahan says, I'd love to hear how old Zane would bash new Zane. It would be an interesting burn session for sure. Okay, now I'm going to resist the urge to do that off the top of my head, but that might be a pre-recorded thing of Eric here, who's still kind of an asshole, but not a douchey asshole. I don't know. Does that make sense? I sometimes, when I listen to old Eric, I sometimes think old Eric tried just too hard. All right. Let's see. What else do I got for you here? There is plenty, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. All right. And it's crazy how all of these stories have something to do with this virus. Really remarkable. And who would have thought that this would be just the thing to get George R.R. Martin writing again? He's like, well, I'm in isolation, and I am now working hard on the next Game of Thrones book. Look, I've seen your body type. You've probably been in isolation for like 20 years. So, all right, I get whatever it takes, to get your fat-ass fingers moving and writing the stupid book. I gave up long ago. I cannot believe I read nearly all of those books. I got to the last book, and I got bored. I can't believe it took me that long. Because of those books, I really struggled with them. It was like homework. Now, I wonder if older Eric might have the patience to sit through it. But let me just tell you, though, if you do read the books, obviously the ending of the HBO drama was written, and, I guess George R.R. Martin may have been a guide to some degree, but that was their own ending. George R.R. Martin's ending is not going to be the HBO ending. Everybody hated the HBO ending. It was shit. During the HBO years of the show, there was also key things that weren't in it. That I probably I probably shouldn't really detail because some of you might actually read the books, but there's a lot of things in the book that just did not fucking happen at all, that were like omitted in the HBO drama. But Martin says, all right, thanks to social distancing, I am getting after it. He's delighting his fans when he revealed that he is hard at work finishing his latest Game of Thrones novel called The Winds of Winter, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2011's A Dance with Dragons. On his personal website, the author spoke candidly on Tuesday about the outbreak and how it's affected his daily life. Strange days are upon us. As ancient as I am, I cannot recall ever having lived through anything like the past few weeks, the 71-year-old marveled as he commended his surrounding businesses of shutting down in order to reduce further spread of the virus. He goes on to write that because everything around his home in New Mexico is closed, and with him being considered vulnerable due to his age and physical condition, he's returned to Westeros full-time. I feel fine at the moment, and we are taking all sensible precautions, Martin explained to concerned fans who long expressed worries that the author could pass before finishing The Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring. I guess that's the next book, so he's got to finish 2 books. Oh, God. It might be the next COVID-19 outbreak. Or COVID-20. He says, I'm off by myself in a remote, isolated location attended by one of my staff, and I'm not going in town or seeing anyone. All right, we'll get after it. Finish your dumb book. I think have we jumped the shark? I mean, a lot of people only watched the show and did not even read the damn books. This is crazy. As the whole world shuts down, I find myself being just as busy as always. I've got pretty much every business dealing that I have outside of the podcast. People that I know are putting it on the shelf or talking about shuttering. It's pretty remarkable. California, the fact that the governor, 33 million people said, everybody stay in. That's an order. We may be to that point very soon throughout the rest of the country. He suggested that 56% of California's population could be infected relatively soon. Now, I like what he's doing there because if they stay indoors, it won't be that way. They'll be able to dodge that bullet. But I want you to think about what has changed in the past week. There's no way in hell you'd be around anybody right now if you got your head on straight. So in order to keep it, so 56%, if 56% of the population of California gets it, we're looking at a ridiculous number of death. Okay, so as I try to put a positive spin on this podcast and what I'm doing, business is not as usual. We have to stay vigilant. Don't touch shit. Stay inside if you can. All right. As always, email me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Coming up in just a bit, I do have some idiots to discuss with you who are doing stupid things surrounding COVID-19. I can't do this podcast without these local businesses. A&E Heating and Cooling, they're still working. God forbid if something goes south on you right about now. These nights are cold as hell. It's going to be, what's crazy is I read that in West Michigan here. Today it's going to be 60, like now, and then tonight it's going to be 17. Yikes. Okay. If you get in the weeds, call on A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Even on the emergency after-hours call, you're going to save 15% when you mention me. That is the heating and cooling specialist, local business of choice. Every business on this show is a local business. Some do have footprints outside of West Michigan, like Tag Accounting. But, you know, the show's for everybody in the world, but I pay the bills with the local engagement. Joe wants me to push the iWave, which is a ion adapter that goes into your furnace. It emits it emits ions which interact with the not so clean things in your home's air and breaks it down to water, nitrogen, oxygen, so your home has cleaner air. Bringing new air in is a good idea every once in a while. Old school is you just open up a window and throw a fan in, but not everybody wants to do that. How about having clean air all year long, consistently? The iWave does that. Joe will install it for about $950. Or if you really want to spend some cash and get the best thing going, the Cadillac of clean air, the ERV. That's a series of pipes that goes from your furnace, from your blower, and it pushes shitty air out of the house and pulls great air from outside of the house and mixes it with the air that's circulating. You're constantly getting new air in the home. You're healthier. There's less shit in the air. You will get less sick. It has nothing to do with COVID-19, but in general, it's about your health. That's going to cost you, I think, Joe, I forget. I got to write it down. I think it's like $2,300, $2,400, something like that. Mention the show. You're going to save 15% on those. Thank you to Joe, 616-516-8579. A lot of you do your own oil changes. Use AMSOIL. Jason sells it. JM Synthetics. Auto, motorcycle, ATV, light truck, UTV, snowmobile, marine outboard, PWC, small engine, heavy duty. AMSOIL invented synthetic motor oil. Get to Jason's website where you can buy it through my website, ericzaneshow.com. Or you can just call him right now, 616-747-0233. Order your AMSOIL from JM Synthetics. And that's anywhere in the nation. Anywhere. That's one of my businesses that sponsor the show that, yeah, he's right here, but through his online, he does everything online. You can get free shipping, save up to 25% on every order. Get your AMSOIL if you do it yourself. If you're one of those do-it-yourself guys. And finally, Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. Still in business. They've got boots on the ground for your managed IT service provider needs. Sometimes your business gets all messed up with your network. You got a virus. Some dummy clicked on a phishing scam. I told you not to click on that. He fixes that because you've got a monthly maintenance plan with Blue Frost IT. That's what you're signing up for. You need more information, call them 616-200-8550. They can also work remotely. Now, they're not grimy or filthy or coated with corona, but sometimes just out of need, out of necessity, they work remotely. I'm going to log in. I'm going to take charge of your computer, and then you see Alan clicking on stuff and fixing your gear. 616-200-8550. Okay. Boy, this is something. With all of the talk about social distancing, that is the in thing. We need look no further than the poll that I put out a week ago. I gave you three choices. How are you living your life right now? Is it A, you're shut in? B, you do go out, but you social distance. C, you go out, no care in the world. On that poll, the first poll I put, 25% of you stayed in. The rest were go out. And in fact, a high number of you, I forget the number, was I have no care in the world. Several days passed, well, a few, and I did the poll again. Same criteria, same choices. 58% of you are shuttered now. 8% of you, I believe, have no care in the world. You're getting the message is what that is. I got the message. You know my attitude's changed on this. This pastor in Louisiana is an asshole, and the message has not gotten through. Idiot held a church service a couple of days ago with hundreds of congregants, despite an order from the governor banning gatherings of more than 50 people. The pastor / reverend / asshole Tony Spell told the CBS affiliate that the coronavirus, which as of this writing had killed 109 in the U.S., is much more now, is not a concern. Spell said cops showed up at Life Tabernacle Church in East Baton Rouge Parish following the service and told them the National Guard would break up any future services larger than 50 people. This is not a concern. The virus, we believe, is politically motivated. We hold our religious rights dear, and we are going to assemble no matter what someone says. All right, I had that stupid myopic view for a period of time, too, that, this is all a witch hunt. It's not. I mean, right now, in that province of Italy, where you have a much older population, Italy is the country in the world that has the oldest population. There's so many bodies right now in that part of Italy that they're stacking them like cordwood. And in a lot of cases, they just leave the people in the room that they die in, and are just waiting till they have the ability to burn the body in a crematorium. Everything is pushed to the max. There is not a hospital bed to be seen. The entire healthcare system is pushed to the brink. The morgues are full. There is no place to burn the bodies. It's like a war. It's a war zone in Italy. And you have this dumb son of a bitch saying stupid shit like this. Life Tabernacle Church. Do you think I might be able to roll the dice and get them on the phone? I'm really... Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'll get back to the story in a second. Let me see. Where is it? I wonder if we can get them on. I'm going to try it right now. 225. I don't want to. You can look it up on your own. Don't call them, because I'm trying to get through. It's like a talk show here.
Hello.
Reverend, how are you?
Better than I deserve. How are you?
I'm very well. This is Reverend Spell, yes?
That's correct.
Sorry to bother you. My name is Eric Zane. I host a podcast. I'm on it right now live. And I looked up, I was reading the story about you. I'm really upset. And I looked up your number, and here you are. Do you mind if I chat with you for a moment or two?
You may.
All right. Have you had a change of heart?
My heart is fixed and my mind is made up.
You're digging your heels in, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
No, I felt like you for a while, too. I thought the same thing, that it was politically motivated. But I've looked at the numbers, and I'm convinced it's not. Have you?
We have looked at the numbers, and in spite of the numbers, we still hold true to our convictions that we're going to continue to assemble and practice our religious freedoms.
Yeah, of course. Well, but what if people get sick, though? What if you get sick?
I want to keep in just balance, and at the same time that I'm being forbidden to assemble, there are quote-unquote essential factors of our society that are staying open, such as retail stores, the Mall of Louisiana. So until those stores close, nobody has a legitimate argument to close my doors.
If you notice that, okay, let's say today you hang up with me and you get 10 phone calls saying, "Hey, we're sick," what would you say to those people?
I'm going to pray for those people as I have prayed for people yesterday who had COVID-19. The church has a mandate in this hour not to go into hiding, but to come out and minister.
Right.
to the sick.
If you're responsible for the illness because your church is kind of affected, isn't that a
Correct.
problem?
It's not a problem.
Why not? You got them sick.
I did not get anybody sick. As I said, we are simply exercising our religious.
Well, I get that,
freedom.
but have you ever heard of better safe than sorry?
I've heard of that. My argument is we're as an essential part of our community as is the hospital.
Yeah, I know, but and I think
And
that's great. You should be, and God bless you for that. But just the whole specter of the danger of what we're in. Do you not believe in the danger?
I believe in the danger.
Well, then you can't put people in harm's way. You got to stop this.
Is it as dangerous as our Planned Parenthood abortion clinics?
No, not right now, but it might be. I guess it depends on how we act on it. But that's a different issue. I agree with you on that. I don't think that people should be able to have abortions either. But we'll get to that later. In the meantime, I think you're contributing to the problem, and I think you gotta think about the people that attend your church. You might, because they're following you as a leader. So I think maybe no one tells you. Certainly in your inner circle, someone has had to say to you, Reverend, we got to back off. What do you tell them when they tell you that?
You're exactly right. My greatest persecution has come from the brethren who embrace the tenets of our faith. Not necessarily people outside of my faith, and not necessarily people in my congregation. They're rallying us to keep our doors open. What I say to them is, I don't condemn you because you have closed. Pray for me and do not condemn me because I remain open.
Now, the world these days is a lot closer with internet and being able to do what we do. You know, why not just tap into those resources as opposed to putting all of the congregation in the crosshairs for this virus by this mass milling of people?
There's two reasons behind that. The majority of my congregation are underprivileged people who do not have access to internet. Secondly, we maintain the scriptures that say, do not quit assembling together.
Okay.
Where two or three are gathered together. So yesterday, after this media scare has gone out in our city, I'm going to each member of our church. We have close to 9,000 people on our roster.
Wow.
I'm personally going to each person, praying with them, assuring them that if you want to stand with us, we want you to stand with us. The doors are going to be open. If there's a fear of persecution, we do not hold that against you.
Let me ask.
However,
sorry,
I've had two teenage girls connected with my church whose parents have lost their jobs, who are home from school, who are not having their meals.
Yeah.
This is affecting their college. They've attempted suicide this week.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry.
So
oh my gosh.
You're fine. God should be invoked in this hour of peril. So what people are not seeing is that this is the church's finest hour to minister to those people. I run 27 full passenger buses over a 60-mile radius, bringing people to this site. I feed them. We minister to them. We're having a blood drive on Sunday morning because our blood banks are empty.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. All across the U.S. Now, let me. I want to ask, when they come into Life Tabernacle Church in East Baton Rouge Parish, do they put hand sanitizer on?
I have hand sanitizers.
Well, then, if you take that precaution, why are you even taking that precaution? Because you just told me that this is a scare and it should be no problem. Why even bother with the hand sanitizer?
Well, I want to finish this. I've been told by the medical professionals yesterday the hand sanitizers are actually furthering the problem because they open up the pores and make you more susceptible to the virus. That was news to me. And here, our underinformed communities are stripping the shelves bare of hand sanitizers, and that's promoting the problem.
Okay, let me run this one by you. It's a hypothetical. In the event, in the unlikely event that every single member of the parish gets sick, would you be willing to say, I was wrong and this is my fault?
Would I be willing to do that?
Yes.
I'm open-minded. If I am the fault or the blame for this spreading of the virus, I take full responsibility for that because I'm a man of conviction.
All right. I think you sound like a nice guy. I can't help but think this is a bad choice. But you're saying that until the great state of Louisiana says shut it down, you're going to stay open.
We're going to keep on keeping on, friend, and I'm going to pray for your First Amendment rights. Keep on.
It's not about that though. It's about the health of the public, because you see what I think a lot of people are struggling with isn't so much about our rights. It's about we could be spreading something to others who have no say in it. And if we're not doing everything we can to avoid what we should be doing, it's exacerbating the problem. No?
I understand their arguments. At the same time, we feel that the church is the most essential part of our society, and we must.
I get that, and I think there's other ways you can do this. I think you can, I don't know, keep them far apart, adapt something, but the amassing in one place like this, I think you're making a mistake, Reverend. I really do, and I'm unfortunately you're probably going to regret it, and I hate that because you sound like a nice guy, but this is a mistake. I'm sorry.
Well, I appreciate you talking to me, and just.
Reverend Snell, I'll tell you what, I'll pray for you and your group too. I pray that you see the light by the end of the day, because I really think that this has to stop. So, I mean, from a person who you don't know, who's just spending the time talking to you, you gotta knock it off. But I wish you the best, okay?
Thank you, friend.
All right. God bless.
God bless.
Take care, Reverend.
You too.
So misinformed. I feel bad for calling him an asshole earlier because he seems like a nice guy, but this is definitely assholish behavior. There's no question this is in line with some degree of assholishness, right? Am I out of line here? I mean, what do you think? Eric at ericzaneshow.com if you have any thoughts as to what the hell we just witnessed. How about the fact that he picked it up? Hello? What? I did not expect that. And I was like, oh, shit, now you're into it. What do we do? What do I do now? But I think he did all right. He's just completely misinformed. Shit. Remarkable. Okay. I have one more thing to talk to you about. It is a personal matter. Before I get to it, though, Terrytown RV is open for business. I'm going to go and see those folks a little later on. I'm going to keep my distance. Maybe not today. I don't know when, but I'm going to go shoot a Facebook Live video with those guys. So you can shop around for your new bug-out vehicle. A travel trailer, fifth wheel, or a motorhome at Terrytown RV. Interest rates are low, low, low because of that big slashing that went on. Remember that? Slash the rates. They take advantage of that. You take advantage of that. TerrytownRV.com. They're still open for business. I'll see you there. Division between 68th and 76th Street. It's a hand sanitizer party at Terrytown RV. Division between 68 and 76. Thank you. The kings of DIY awesomeness in the north when you're getting ready to bug out. Drop by Baldwin Ace Hardware. If your destination place is the Baldwin area, in the beautiful Manistee National Forest, drop by Baldwin Ace Hardware. And finally, just because there's coronavirus, it doesn't mean that your beautiful plants that you're growing indoors should suffer. Some of you might just be starting that process. Horizon Hydroponics wants to make sure you're on the right path. They have 4 locations. Grand Rapids on Alpine, the Growers Outlet in Byron Center, Michigan, and then, of course, Lansing and Kalamazoo. You can find Horizon Hydroponics online at Horizen, Z like Zen. Oh, Zen. HorizonHydroponics.com. And their number is 866-791-1664. 866-791-1664. Okay. Again, small business shout out. That happens on Monday in earnest. I've got people in the hopper that I've been reaching out to. You can send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, with the small business. Do feel free to nominate yourself. Don't be shy. You're struggling right now. I want to do what I can to help you. Trying to help you, motherfucker. Oh, damn it. Didn't work.
Fuck you. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
Hey, it's Eric Zane. I'm trying to help you.
Fuck you. I'm trying to help you, motherfucker.
I added some drops the other day. What were they? I thought I'd need karate sound effects. Somebody posted on Zaniacs United a bunch of karate sound effects. I don't know why. I just said... Oh, there's a fight breaking out. Look at it. Oh!
Get drunk before everything closes.
All right. So, yesterday, watching TV, Madison comes walking into the room. No humans are harmed in this story. But it's not good news. I'm not going to lie to you. This makes me sad. It's going to make you sad too. Hey, what's wrong with Buddy's other eye? What? Now, as you know, Buddy Bobcat Face had an eye removed in late January. It's healed up nicely, and he's adapted with his one eye. And I look at her, and I go, what do you mean? She goes, looks funny. Now, of course, he's in the garage, living the good life. He's got like 4 beds, heated garage, food, water. His other cat friends visit from time to time, like Blackbeard the Pirate. Well, Buddy Bobcat Face is sitting there on one of his 10 beds, and I go walking up to him. I took one look, and I go, fuck. The other eye there's a problem. It is very, very clouded. It's a bit, I wouldn't say, it's kind of bigger. It looks bulging almost. He doesn't appear to be in distress, but he's pretty blind right now. And I don't think there's any putting that back to normal. I will finish podcasting today and take him to the vet. In fact, I'm going to get done with this and call. And if I can, I'll get in right away and do the Patreon later. So I don't know what's up. But I'm not very optimistic. Now, maybe there's something that can be done to treat the cat's eye, and then the eye can be saved. But if the eye has to come out, that it means he has 0 eyes. Okay. Now, is that any way for the cat to live? That's the first question. Well, I don't think it is. And the cat, no doubt, is, if the eye pressures are increasing, that is very painful and very uncomfortable. And So, that is on my brain right now. It is a decision that is actively being thought about. Possibly the cat might have to be put down. I'm 55% there, and it could go up to 99% based on what the vets say. So, just let you know that that's what's going on, man. It's pretty. I didn't sleep last night. I mean, you know me and the pets. And Buddy's a legend, for God's sake. I mean, I've told more stories about that cat bringing me right now, all the woodland creatures around here are like, yes, please kill him. We can't take it anymore. He's killed all our young. So, my gut tells me that if the cat needs to lose the eye, that I'm going to put him down. You can't have a cat that's used to being outdoors all the time. I would have to lock him in a room, and then I couldn't let him wander the house. He can't. He doesn't know where he's going. The dogs would kill him. So I'm really bumming, man. So just figured I'd tell you that. Now there's a chance that they could treat it. I don't know. That could very well be the case. I'm wrapping this up now. I'm going to go downstairs and make a phone call, and then that's going to, take hold. So, as you know, I like to keep you updated on my personal adventures, and this is definitely a personal adventure. Let that be known. Okay, folks, I'm going to leave it right there. Yeah, I hate to end like that, but that's what's bouncing around my brain like a pinball. Hey, thanks. I thought we had a good time today. We got a lot of important stuff done. Can't believe that Reverend. What a dummy. All right, folks, you have a great one. I'll talk to you down the road, all right? Be safe. We'll be back here. I'll let you know what's going on. Look for me on Patreon later on if you want to get in on the Eric Zane Show podcast on Patreon. I do pay the bills with that. That's huge. And, everything's drying up for me, too. But if you got $5 or $10 a month you want to spare, it would really, really help. Thank you so much. That's at patreon.com/Eric Zane for the Patreon bonus podcast. A lot like this podcast, but it's on Patreon. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.